good dog drinking in the lap.
Well, good morning, Lionhearts. It's a beautiful day here in Zamunda. It's a little Coming to America reference. Whatever. We got a lot to do today. I got a great announcement that Blake Griffin re-signed with the Clippers, which is awesome for me because he's my favorite basketball player of all time, even beyond Michael Jordan. And to know that he's going to be a Clipper for another 5 years. Basically, he'll be the entire face of the franchise for his entire career. Probably get a statue, hopefully, just because of that. And I got all the stuff that I wanted listed on eBay, Facebook, Craigslist, everything that I was trying to get listed so I could sell, get rid of, get out of my apartment. It's all listed. We have an action-packed day. I got to go mail out all the Patreon stuff. I owe you wallpaper, records, CDs, postcards, anything. It's all going out today except for like 2 people. One person, I need your address, and the other person, I just need an envelope to mail out your package. And we're going to go do some awesome vlogging. Go mail that stuff out, hit our vlog for today over in Westwood, and I think now it's a Starbucks, but it didn't used to be. And then we're going to go to my physical therapy appointment. So this ought to be quite a day. Thank you to everybody who downloaded John Juan's music at johnjuanmusic.com. I actually used that for the intro today, and he's a great friend, and I love the music, and what a great tone to use to set this vlog, especially when it's on John Denver. That's right, the John Denver. Today, I'm going to tell you how John Denver became John Denver, how he got his name, where he started, the whole shebang. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. I know this is not going to be a fun trip to the post office, but I'm actually not sweating it too much because I actually know I'm the problem today. I have postcards, packages, envelopes, international, so I know I'm going to be part of the hold-up, so it kind of makes it a little bit easier. And I gave myself like 2 hours to do everything before my physical therapy appointment, so hopefully it will all work out. Alright, I have to mail all this out. It's quite a bit. It's like over 50 pieces, I think. But even though I have no real plans for 4th of July yet, I just want to get everything done so I could go into it knowing that I don't have anything hanging over my head. Anything that I was trying to get accomplished, I got it set in motion. Okay, well, it looks like I'm going to have to come back. Unreal. Who has cash these days? Actually, maybe I'll get lucky and find a post office over there in Westwood. As I'm driving around, I can just do it over there and they'll accept ATM cards. I do have to say, I tried to go into the post office situation with a positive attitude, and they managed to find the one way to throw a wrench into that. The one way. They're even putting that panda bear to work. Well, here we are. Pretty much where it all started for John Denver. Right here where this La Bruschetta is, this used to actually be a folk country kind of bluegrassy club called LEDBETTER'S. And for the life of me, guys, I have combed the internet and I cannot find any pictures really of the building itself. All I can find are a lot of promotional ads and flyers that were used back in the day, but everybody from the Chad Mitchell Trio to Steve Martin to John Denver performed here. And basically how the story goes is that John Denver was in school in Lubbock, Texas, decided that it just wasn't for him, and in 1964 he made his way out here to Los Angeles, and this was basically the main place that he would hit. It was like an open mic. Once a week you could do like a hootenanny night, and John Denver would come here and play, and the couple that ran this place, their name was Randy and Diane Sparks. Diane saw him and just loved him, and she called Randy and said, "Randy, you gotta come check this boy out that's playing." And he said, well, what's so good about him? Is he a great singer? And she said, well, I mean, he's okay. And he said, well, is he good looking? Is he a guitar player? What is it? She said, no, it's just, I mean, he's okay. It's just, everybody seems to like him. And so Randy came down here, saw him, totally got it, loved him, and the then known John Deutschendorf became a mainstay here. Randy and Diane Sparks liked him so much they actually let him move into their house. They gave him a room there. They gave him a nightly gig here. He played here for 56 weeks in a row in 1965. He made $100 a night, or $100 a week, I'm sorry. And this is where he basically honed his whole craft. Let's go there and take a look. Now, Randy Sparks ended up loving John Deutschendorf, so much that he actually took him under his wing, and first thing he said was, he goes, "John, I love you, but I can't have a guy playing here every night named John Deutschendorf. What do you think about John Denver?" And John said, "Well, that's too close to Gilligan. I don't want to be confused for Bob Denver." And he said, "John, if you play your cards right, nobody will ever remember Bob Denver." So Randy approached Capitol Records, went and got John a deal, a 4-song demo deal. They made the recording, and when they turned it into Capitol Records, the man at Capitol Records said, "Randy, just face it, he's got no talent." Now, how appropriate is it that old Leadbetter's, even though it's gone, it'd be right here next to Westwood Music. So when John Denver's deal didn't work out with Capitol Records, he got a little discouraged, but something happened. A group that played here pretty often named the Chad Mitchell Trio. Actually, Chad Mitchell quit the trio, and they were looking for a new singer, and who do you think signed up for it? John Denver became the new singer in the Mitchell Trio. Kind of surprising that when the lead frontman of the band leaves that they would actually keep the same name, but he went on to be in this group for the next few years. And the turning point was actually one year for Christmas. John decided to record a batch of songs and put it on a record and give it to all of his friends for Christmas. And on that record, he actually recorded a song called "Babe, I Hate to Go." And he gave it out to his friends. And among those friends were Peter, Paul, and Mary individually. And the story goes is that when they reconvened after the Christmas break to start working on a new record, and they weren't really a well-known group, they didn't have a hit yet, not a #1 hit, they all walked into the studio and said, "We have a new John Denver song that we have to cover," and they'd all picked the same one. They ended up recording this song and called it "Leaving on a Jet Plane." And the rest was history. It became a #1 hit song for him. John said he was driving down the road one day, and right there on the radio, he heard the song come on, and he had to pull the car over because he was crying so hard. And he said, "I immediately found the first payphone I could find and called the radio station and begged them to play it again." So after this, Randy actually approached RCA with John Denver's music, and the same man, Harry Jenkins, who signed Elvis to RCA, was the man who made John Denver a reality at RCA. And John Denver went on to be the biggest selling pop star of the mid-70s. You couldn't turn on a TV without seeing him on the Muppets, or in a movie with George Burns, or on a variety show, or hosting his own variety show, or just smiling and having a good time everywhere he was. And in respect to his family, should anyone in his family, his son or daughter or one of his 2 wives ever see this, I don't want to leave out the fact that this is also where he met his first wife, Annie. Annie Martell. She was a young 20-year-old while he was 23, and she came and saw him here, and he really took a liking to her, and they were married in 1967 and stayed together throughout most of his high points in his career throughout the 70s. Now, if I can happen to find any pictures of Leadbetter's or any more of the flyers that I found online, I'll post them in here, and I apologize I couldn't find more, but I guess in reality, this is one of those situations where the memory of the place is more important than actually, I guess, seeing the front of the place. And though I wish I could, and if anybody happens to have any photos, I would sure love to see them, but I have held off doing this vlog for about 3 months, or maybe even longer, because I couldn't find photos of this place, and finally I just decided I really wanted to do this. And here's the driveway in between Westwood Music and what would have been Leadbetter's. So the reason I wanted to show this is because this would have been the smoking hangout in those days, and the entrances for the bands to load in their equipment. Now, like I said, they were all folk bands, but they all had banjos and guitars and, you know, minimal instruments, but they would have all hung out back here. Just a little piece of history. Can you imagine that, seeing Steve Martin performing his banjo? Well, I guess you can actually. Ironically, you can imagine it, because that's pretty much his career now, as he performs his music playing banjo. But his career, a lot of it started at Knott's Berry Farm, and when he moved up here to Los Angeles to try and make something, this was his main club, as well as John Deutschendorf, who became John Denver. And if there was no other battle to be won in this whole thing, at least it's not a Starbucks like I thought I read it was online. And just in case I haven't said it yet, guys, tomorrow is 4th of July, so happy 4th of July when you're watching this. Now let's go make our way over to the neighborhood where my physical therapy is and see if we can't find a post office to get you fine people your wallpaper, records, and postcards. And just take that in. That is where John Denver became John Denver. Wow. I'll tell you, when I was in high school, my senior year, when I would get done with all my homework at night, I would play Tetris on my original Nintendo, and I would always listen to the John Denver Wildlife Concert. I can't explain why that was my choice, but that was always what I went for. It's a great album. And one of the great things about that concert is that John Denver's band during that concert was actually Elvis's band. It was James Burton and all those guys from Vegas that Elvis always had in his band. Check it out, it's great. Well, I actually found a post office on the way. Hooray! Alright guys, I got everything mailed. It came out to be in 45 bucks, but I still got 10 minutes to get to my appointment. I'm only like, I don't know, maybe like 20 blocks away. Mission accomplished. Alright, the physical therapy's done. I am wiped out. I've got to be honest, I have not gotten more than 3 hours of sleep probably all week. I'm biting the bullet. I'm calling Neil Leeds and I'm talking to him about a price on a bed. I cannot take it anymore. I almost went down and slept on the floor last night. I was so miserable, so it's got to be done. I didn't want to do it before my trip, but I think I got to do it. I was driving by this liquor store and I saw this mural and I just had to stop over and show you guys. See, I'm not the only one that wears sunglasses in LA. Marilyn's got hers on, Ray Charles has his on. I think that's Bruce Springsteen. Of course, Bob Marley, W.C. Fields. And the great Alfred Hitchcock. You know, I know he's a great movie director and all, but I became a Hitchcock fan when I was a kid because the Alfred Hitchcock Presents TV show that was always replayed on Nick at Night. I thought you'd be excited to see me, but you've been too busy digging around in your nether regions. Hi. Good to see you, buddy. Happy 4th of July, Jaw! I just wanted to send a shout out to Stavrula Sagias and Derek Millen for becoming new Patreons and making donations today. Very nice of you, and I hope I nailed your name. I had to practice it a few times. Time for the nighttime walk, guys. You know how it is. Well, gang, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have decided I am not going to be getting a P.O. box. So if you were planning on sending me something, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to be getting one. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great night and a great holiday.
I'm a good dog, me and my habits, but I can't contain. I never caught a rabbit, no. Hey, 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 hey. How could that boy, that the thing that he's got, walk his old mama to the chopping block and said, hey, 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 hey. Would you flip if your dog started talking, and would you trip if I'm too late?